No. Answer the questions I asked, please. I only have 5 minutes. Who pays tariffs?
Sorry? Well,
Who pays tariffs?
Sorry,
Mr. Secretary, please.
Excuse me.
The question is very simply, who pays tariffs, Mr. Chairman? I'd like him to answer that question.
Well,
He wants to answer other questions.
Well, Congressman, if the Congressman, if the exporters dislike tariffs so much, why wouldn't they? If I think what you're trying to get me to say.
Did you remember the question? I'm not sure you did. Who pays tariffs?
It's a very complicated question.
Reclaiming my time. People pay tariffs, right? Reclaiming my time, Mr. Secretary. Reclaiming my time, Mr. Secretary. Reclaiming my time. You clearly aren't going to answer. I'm not going to waste my time having you go, Mr. Secretary, Mr. Chairman, I asked reclaiming my time. Mr. Chairman.
When billionaires gamble with our economy, that's not strategy. That's sabotage. Today, Congressman Mark Pocan of Wisconsin put the Treasury Secretary on the spot, and it wasn't pretty. Because while Wall Street parties in Beverly Hills, Main Street is left paying the price.
My main concern is, I think, what people are looking at the economy. The first 100 days, lowest stock market since Richard Nixon, not usually a measure people are shooting for. On tariffs, the fact that last year we had an effective rate of about 2.5%. I think the Yale Budget Lab, and I believe you went to Yale, has said that effective rate is closer to 28%, the highest since 1901. I know that some of that's changed because the tariffs are on again, off again, some on again, some off again. Somewhat chaotic, I believe, as your term is, Crazy Ivan style. I compare them to how a monkey throws dung. You're not exactly sure where they're going to land. And that's the concern I have as a small business owner, and I know Ms. Luzenkamp-Perez is as well. I've got small businesses really worried. You made a comment about while cargo volumes have dropped 60%, you see this as a temporary detox. But for a small business that's getting by day to day, that's much bigger. You talked about Main Street. We want to finally focus on Main Street, not Wall Street. I think you were at a global investor conference in Beverly Hills yesterday. That's the cocktail party where you mentioned the Crazy Ivan theory. And before that, you were at a JP Morgan Chase World Bank private investor summit. All those things are not Main Street, right? Main Street is an auto body repair, a specialty printer. So my concern is on the tariffs. Who pays tariffs, Mr. Secretary? No. Answer the questions I asked, please. I only have 5 minutes. Who pays tariffs?
Sorry? Well,
who pays tariffs?
Sorry,
Mr. Secretary, please.
Excuse me.
The question is very simply, who pays tariffs, Mr. Chairman? I'd like him to answer that question.
Well,
he wants to answer other questions.
Well, Congressman, if the exporters dislike tariffs so much, why wouldn't they? If I think what you're trying to get me to say.
Did you remember the question? I'm not sure you did. Who pays tariffs?
It's a very complicated question.
Reclaiming my time. People pay tariffs, right? Reclaiming my time, Mr. Secretary. Reclaiming my time, Mr. Secretary. Reclaiming my time. You clearly aren't going to answer. I'm not going to waste my time having you go, Mr. Secretary, Mr. Chairman, I asked reclaiming my time.
Tariffs.
Mr. Chairman. And I asked to reclaim my time. Did I not? No, I said reclaiming my time because he's clearly not answering it. So, yeah, so as a small business owner, and unfortunately I'd like that time back since you failed to recognize me for 30 seconds. So I just recently from one of my suppliers got the tariff surcharge on things. And in addition to the tariff surcharge, guess what else got raised? American-made walnut plaques. That has nothing to do with tariffs, but companies take advantage and do that. So right now, we are getting screwed right and left because of the indiscriminate use of tariffs. That's the reality for Main Street. And you go off to Beverly Hills for private investor conferences and talk about Crazy Ivan theories. Answer that. What is the Crazy Ivan theory of tariffs that you mentioned at the summit?
Well, first of all, sir, I've had meetings with more than 50 small lenders. So I want to clarify that. I would also say that in game theory, strategic uncertainty, of which you seem to like the name Crazy Ivan.
Well, it's your words, correct? Didn't you use Crazy Ivan at the...
Well, you've used it 5 times. And
that's the question, Mr. Chairman.
I am saying the strategic uncertainty is part of negotiations. that should we say,
Okay,
oh, here's what we'll accept. Please take this.
Okay, I've got your answer. Thank you. I'm going to reclaim my time again. So for a small business, we don't have that luxury, right? When the ports are empty in California and we can't get goods and people are stocking up for Christmas goods, Crazy Ivan is great for, please don't take this offense, really rich people like you, but for people like me, it's not, right? That's what makes small businesses fail. That's what makes people lose their jobs. That's what makes the stock market tank. So I'll ask one more time, who pays tariffs?
Sir, the history would show that it is a complicated mix of who pays the tariffs over various times.
So that's exactly the problem. If your answer, and you are a very educated person, you have a very impressive bio, cannot answer the question who pays tariffs because you won't answer that, and you say it's a complicated issue, it's not complicated. Consumers pay Trump's tariff tax. That's the reality. And I'll yield back, Mr. Chairman, but I do think next time if I ask to yield back, I would appreciate having my time yield back.
Chair now recognizes the gentle lady from.
Here's how it went down. The Treasury Secretary came in armed with talking points, bragging about growth, Main Street, and recovery. But Pocan, a former small business owner himself, had no patience for the show. He started with the basics, tariffs. These so-called America First policies that were supposed to hit China, they've been hammering small businesses back home instead. So Pocan asked the question every working person deserves an answer to: who pays tariffs? And what followed was painful. The secretary dodged, hesitated, and hid behind buzzwords: strategic uncertainty, game theory, complex dynamics. Translation: he didn't want to say it, but Pocan wasn't letting go. Who pays tariffs? Reclaiming my time. Who pays tariffs? Each time, the secretary tried to dance around it. Each time, Pocan pushed back, until finally he said it straight. Consumers pay Trump's tariff tax. And there it was, the truth. These tariffs aren't crushing foreign exporters. They're crushing American families, small shops, and everyday workers. Meanwhile, the same official claiming to stand with Main Street was just fresh off a Beverly Hills investor summit, rubbing shoulders with the same Wall Street elite who profit from this chaos. That's the heart of the hypocrisy. Republicans talk about Main Street while writing policies that protect the penthouse class. They say America first, but every move they make pushes working Americans further behind. Pocan didn't just challenge bad policy, he exposed the power game behind it. Because tariffs under Trump weren't about fairness or competition. They were about control, a quiet transfer of wealth from workers to the wealthy. And in 5 minutes, Mark Pocan tore through the illusion. Mark Pocan didn't just win an argument, he exposed the scam. When the people in charge can't even say who pays the price, it's always you. If you found this breakdown powerful, subscribe to Liberal Talk, hit like, turn on notifications, and drop a comment below. Do you think tariffs were a tool to protect America, or just another Trump-era con? Because here, we don't just play the clips, we pull back the curtain.